All right, so I wanted to draw your attention back to this document that we have posted on Blackboard. Would encourage everybody just to go back and review it. I think it highlights very clearly the different kind of sections of the SOAP note and what should go into each of those. So please, go back and look at this. One of the big things we're seeing in SOAPs is just people are getting dock points because they're not putting the correct information in the right sections, especially when that comes to subjective and objective information. The intent is not to copy word for word this information, but really to start to look at and have a thought with the case and what's going on. So this is going to tie into your problem list, the assessment, the plan you're coming up with. There's going to be certain information from the background that's subjective and objective that is pertinent and important for you to include in here because it directly fits with what your problem list is going to be and how you prioritize that, or how your assessment, how you write that assessment, the plan you come up with. That is all supported by this information here with this section. So your subjective and objective should be pertinent. So you want to go through and look at the background information. If there's information in there that is not pertinent to any of the where you're going with your SOAP note or the important things with your plan, then that really you do not need to include that. I again recognize that can be hard, and we're trying to be lenient right now on what you're including and not including, but the idea being anything that is not related to the patient's problems and or your plan should not necessarily be included. So want to just reiterate what this is. It's important to group this information in the appropriate section, but also to think, is this relevant to this case, and not just to copy and paste everything into the S&O portion of the SOAP, but really be selective in what is appropriate. And so this is a learning curve. You're learning in it, and this is why it's so important for you to go back and review feedback, and not just look at the points and I'm not doing well points wise, but really try to understand the feedback that you're getting by those that are kind of going through and reviewing this. So the other thing we're seeing a lot of is calculated information in the objective part. And either information not being calculated, or when calculated, things like units not being included with the calculation. So just make sure you're putting things like we try to give everybody feedback on that. That those things do get noted. If you're reviewing feedback and you weren't doing that, you should have seen that you got that feedback. But if you're missing calculated data, that's a place where you're going to miss points, and just recognizing that. So we're seeing a lot of people though that don't necessarily do the calculated data, or leaving that off. So hope that's kind of helpful with your S&O portion. Now we'll go on to some of the other portions here.